So, episode 10 of Donbrothers. This episode was a banger. I was not expecting this episode to be this good when I found out what the episode was going to be about, because when we got that cold opening of how Haruka got her life back together and how she lived a normal life, I was like, oh, this is just going to be like a fillery, not a filler episode, but sort of like a nice and chill episode. But actually, it wasn't. This episode had a lot going for it. It was a big Haruka Oni sister character development moment that shook me with how much character development she got in this one episode. We saw the debut of the rest of the Robotaro forms, which I have small nitpicks about with how they got their powers at the end of the episode. Everyone just got their powers at the end of the episode instead of everyone just slowly earning them, which I'm fine with. You got to get to the big robo forms sooner than later. And we also got to sort of see what the Beastials are about and what the heck is up with them, because they're still a big mystery. But we kind of got hints about how powerful they are and how they're a threat to the good guys and the bad guys and both of their worlds. So I'm excited to see where the Beastial stuff is going to go next episode in episode 11, but enough about episode 11, let's talk about episode 10. So the whole concept of this episode is the Kibi point system being reintroduced again, where one of the concepts of the Kibi points is if you have enough Kibi points, which Haruka earned a ton of points after last episode, you can use those points and stop being a warrior and sort of live your normal life. And that's what Haruka does in this episode. She uses basically all her points up and she starts living a normal life where everything goes back to normal for her, where she's not a plagiarist, she's an award-winning manga artist again, she's starting to get a boyfriend again, and things are going back on track for her. But because Haruka's no longer Oni's sister, there's a replacement character for her, and her name is Marina Medea, I believe it's pronounced. And this character, Marina, becomes the brand new Oni sister, and it's a really cool character that was introduced and we're probably never going to see again, probably until like maybe later down the line. I think they're a one-off character, but who knows, we're still 10 episodes in, they could come back later down the line and be like, hey, remember this character? No, well, they're back. But she was a photographer, and because Haruka stopped being Oni's sister, Marina became Oni's sister, and she was a photographer, Marina was a photographer, and as soon as she became a photographer, all the bad luck that Haruka had as Oni's sister started to reflect on her, where she got caught a plagiarist, she was starting to have her career go downhill and stuff like that. She was suffering the same fate, and it was really bad, unfortunately. But I did love the interactions where Haruka is trying to get the other members of her team, such as Saru brother and Don Momotaro, to recognize her, and no one really cares. Like, even Kaito didn't recognize her, but I think he was just sort of faking it, which you find out at the end of the episode. So, I'm going to talk about the big Haruka character moment that she got in this episode, and I really hope that it doesn't get reset at the end of next week and she sort of forgets what she learnt. But there's this moment in the third act of the episode where they're fighting the monster of the week, which was a really cool design, pirate-based Gokaiger gear, and it started sucking up manga artists and stuff like that. So we're in the third act of the fight, and Marina's hand starts shaking, and that's because of all the stuff that she's sort of been going through as becoming Oni's sister, where she got caught a plagiarist, she sort of lost all her awards and stuff like that. Like I mentioned earlier, all the bad stuff that happened to Haruka is happening to Marina, and Haruka sees this, and she doesn't want someone else to suffer like the way she did. She doesn't want someone to go through the same misfortune. So she actually gives up her brand new successful life that she got back and trades it in to become Oni's sister again. And how it happens is Kaito just presses the delete button on the laptop and everything's back to normal and brand new. And then after that, everyone gets their Robotaro forms, which was a really cool fight scene. How they got them out of nowhere is kind of weird, because I thought everyone else had to earn them and unlock them, but I guess that's not the case. They just had them, which I'm fine with. I mean, like I said, you got to get them sooner than later, because eventually we're going to see the brand new mech, which is in the opening. So everyone got their brand new powers, their brand new power up, the Robotaro forms, and they look pretty cool. I like them. They've got some really sleek and great designs, especially Oni's sister and Saru brother. They look really great. Saru Brothers sort of reminding me of the Beast Bot from Go Busters and Beast Morphers. And Oni's sister's design is really great as well because she sort of just gets all of this armor and the horns get longer and she becomes like an actual Oni or an ogre, which is really cool to see on what she's based on. But we get a really cool flashy fight with a insert song from Kageyama, I believe. I think that was a Kageyama song. I could be wrong. It sounded like him. You couldn't really hear it with all the fighting and the sound effects going on, but our heroes managed to save the day and sort of free the monster and get the Gokaija gear, which is really great because now we'll see Gokaija powers later down the line. I think there might be a Gokaija, what's it called? Gokaija altar form? I don't know, I haven't been paying attention to the altars, which I'm not really collecting, but I want to talk about the Beastials because that was an important part of the episode as well. So the Beastials, in this episode, we still don't completely know what they are. We find out all those people that sort of crashed on the bus are not dead, they went missing, and one of those characters, I had to look this up on the wiki because that name sounded very familiar. It was the police officer from episode 5 of Donbrothers, and he's back again, because I tried to figure out what the heck was he doing when he started folding up the menu and sort of made a cat origami and started meowing. I was like, that's a bit weird. But then when I rewatched the episode to sort of talk about this clip, I was like, oh, that's the officer from episode 5 that was after Inu Brother, and he's back again, which is a nice little callback. So the Beastials appear to be possessing people from the looks of it, and there was a really goofy scene where he sort of freaks out in the ramen place, and it's sort of this violent scene where he smashes the waiter's head into like the ramen bowl and sort of maybe kills him. But the goofy scene is when he sort of grows the fangs and shoves like the meat and the ramen into his mouth. Like the fake teeth is sort of almost falling out, which kind of got a chuckle out of me. But the Beastials, we don't know what they are. We might be seeing more of them next week, hopefully. But they're a big threat to our heroes and the villains, and even the villains are scared of them. So these guys must be powerful, and I'm hoping we'll find out what they are eventually, because in the preview for next week's episode, we saw the 3 bad guys talking to Momotaro's foster father in the jail cell, so that's interesting that they can visit him as well. So that's got me curious as well with what the heck these guys are and why they're going to him for answers, so that should be an interesting thing to see next week in episode 11. But anyway, guys, that's my review / recap / rambling of Donbrothers episode 10. I thought it was a great episode. I enjoyed it a lot. But what did you guys think of the episode? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. With that said, I'm going to bring this video to a close. Special thanks to all the YouTube members and Patreon supporters such as Swagger4 and Andrew McCoyle. If you want to get your name shouted out like these guys over here, hit the join button and become a Patreon supporter for special perks and stuff like that on the channel. With that said, I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day or night, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, bye.